Hey, this is Lisa Lee. Welcome to my channel. So today we're doing a 2-2-2-2-2 reading. I hope you don't hear that car alarm, but if you do, it's important, it's important, it's important. Anyway, so we're going to jump right in and we're just going to look at where are you going, what are you becoming, and hopefully the car alarm will cease. And it did, yes. All right, let's start. Okay, let's take a look at this. So we have the Nine of Pentacles here. So who are you becoming? Where are you going? Where your communication skills are blossoming. And not only are your communication skills blossoming, I'm looking at the flower, I'm looking at the parrot, but there's something that's in you, that's been in you for a really long time. There's like been a searching, and this is signifying to me, like, you know, to the extent that you've been, I see somebody who's like a helicopter looking for a place to land, and Spirit is saying like, and feeling like, you know, where's my home? Like, where am I going? Like, how do I establish myself? This is reminding me of the bird, Noah's Ark, and coming back with the little sprig to show that there is land out there. And so there's this way in which Spirit is saying, you're going to have a financially, with Nine of Coins, like a financially sound, grounded, your dreams are grounded. Things you have been searching for, you're going to find. It's going to ground. Communication is a really big deal, and your skills are about to be in full bloom. And it's going to bring in a level of stability and a level of confidence, and also being held in very high regard. With the High Priestess, it's looking like, you know, even though your communication skills are really coming to life in a beautiful way, I'm noticing this book, and I'm actually noticing somebody coming to life out of that book. So this is the High Priestess. So your intuition, you're going to be known for your intuition. And what you're able, like your creativity and what you create using your intuition, you can expect that to have a very big effect on people at a soul level. With the Weight card here, you know, so it's like being established, having excellent communication skills, and having the things that you were searching for, like finding that land and having that level of peace. And you're very psychic, and it comes through your interactions, and it comes through in what you create. With Weight, I'm actually seeing that the wait is over. But let me take a look at this. There's a little bit of a refrain, so let me take a minute. You have everything it's, you know, it's almost like you don't have to rush anywhere. You can be slow and like explore things and take your time. You're very happy, like pretty much in any kind of seasonal environment. My throat is going, so what's that? This is a little bit difficult. Let me get some clarifiers for this, because it's an interesting thing that I'm seeing. It's not totally clear. Get a little bit of water. Why is my voice going with the Weight? Let's just find out a little bit more about that, because that's stumping me a bit. So what do we have here with Weight? Spirit. You're a spiritual advisor is what I'm being shown here with the High Priestess and the Nine of Coins. You actually get paid for being you, which I think is really interesting. With the Weight card, though. Ah, interesting. This is actually Spirit saying, like, there's more to it. There's more than just you're a spiritual advisor. There's more than just your communication skills are good. There's more than just you have grounded your wishes, and that there's like a blooming, like glow up period for you. But there's also more, and Spirit is like, wait for it. Because with the Eight of Cups here, you know, it's almost like Spirit saying, where you think everything is going to be might not be where everything is, in the way of like where your emotional investment is, but wait for it. Because Spirit is saying, like, we definitely have, let's see what the bottom of the deck is over here. Two of Coins. We have a balance coming in. and a lot of inspiration. But there is a call to sort of wait, like, you know, to the extent that you might be feeling like I'm not busy enough, I'm not doing enough. Spirit is saying like there's always more. There's something that is like brewing and becoming, something kind of unspoken that requires like a level of refrain. Because there's like Spirit's like, I'm calling you into a direction and I'm not giving you all the information just yet. And you're going to sort of pivot towards that. And so like to the extent that your trajectory is established and psychic, you know, there's also something else here that we're seeing that Spirit's like, I'll tell you when it's time. The heat kicked on. Let me go grab that. And for some reason I turned the heat off and it's not. So I'm just going to talk a little louder if I can. There it is. Look, it's a miracle. Look at the serendipity. That was going to happen, actually, at some point. I guess it was just sort of gearing up to turn off, but I was waiting for what felt like a really long time for something that was going to already happen, and I already knew it was going to happen with the High Priestess. That's the message. Okay, so that like took a couple of rounds, and I think like all of that came through because this is a collective and there's different things for different people. Something that and I love how like the environment kind of helped push that along. Something you've been waiting for that you know is going to happen is going to happen. And it's going to happen kind of quickly. Now, with the Hanged Man here and the Seven of Wands, there's a way in which you are different. And you've always known this and you're, you know, well aware of it. And it might even have felt like alienating for kind of a while, but it's an orientation towards life, and it's a perspective towards life that is like very uniquely you. And to the extent that there is going to be a little bit of like defending what that is, not everyone is going to understand your perspective, but there are definitely people who are going to be drawn to it and who are going to learn from it, and those are your people. So you're going to be surrounded by your people, but your people isn't everyone in terms of how you were perceived, because I think you have a lot of leadership spiritually and through communication. Of course, you're going to find people that don't see things as you do. Let me just look at this card for a second. You're very smart. Obviously, you're very smart, but there's a way in which your intelligence and your unique perspective is very useful in terms of bringing people together. That said, it's not going to be for everyone. And so like there's something beautiful about like the people who are meant to, who are like gravitate towards like your vibe, your message, what you have to offer. They're going to see you as a beacon. You know, you're going to light the way, and you're a kind of a way shower. Now, with the Five of Cups and the Queen of Wands, this is an appreciation for life's difficulties, an appreciation for, you know, what grieving does. But with the Queen of Wands, like there's a way in which what had been a lot of grieving that had gone on for kind of a while, there was a walking away. And so Spirit is showing me that you have really glowed up into this Queen of Wands. And this Queen of Wands is passionate, she's inspired, she's admired, she has like this incredible magnetism, and she's beautiful. Yeah, there's so many qualities here, and I'm like very appealing as well, is what I'm seeing. And so she knows her worth. And it's like she knows her worth because she knows how long it took her to learn her worth, first of all, and also, you know, the work that she did on herself, this person. I don't know why it's coming through as she, but we're just gonna, the work that this person did on themselves is really creating a vibrance that will be quite noticeable and notable. The Death card is here. And so, you know, there's a transformation taking place. And again, I'm bringing back to like the weight. There's something else that Spirit wants to bring through that isn't particular to, like, this is not ready. You're not ready. You're learning. You're on your way. There's a finished point that you get to in terms of outcome where you're getting something very much like meant for you and like very fulfilling, and there's a lot of happiness in it. There's fairness in it. There's empowerment. I'm feeling the empowerment very like clearly. There's some twist on what you know that you want, that you know is coming. There's a twist on it. You might feel a little bit like you're drifting lately. There might be like this feeling of like, waiting for things to really happen, like wanting to feel like, you know, things are taking off. And Spirit is saying, like, we're actually moving you into like peace and tranquility in a lot of ways. Even though I don't see the Six of Swords here, I'm feeling the Six of Swords somewhere. With the Death card and the Emperor and the Six of Coins, there's a transformation. You know, you keep growing. You're always growing. You're always transforming. That's sort of part of like that renewal and your inner resources, your basic instinct. That's always kind of going. So that's kind of a continuing, you know, you can, this is not a scary card. And even transforming is not scary. You know, there's a way in which you've mastered it with the Emperor here. You've mastered transforming and you've become like sort of invincible as a result of it. Because you're almost like, okay, well, this is a challenge. I know I can transform. Another challenge. I know I can transform. And there's not a lot of stress or strain related to transformation for you. And it's an ongoing process. You've got the High Priestess twice. So this is like your psychic gifts are fire. They are. So let me just pull this up. I want to see this closely. I'm pointing at this rose for somebody. So with the Death card here, you are actually embarking on something cool in the way of like welcoming yourself into the mysteries and like displaying mysteries. Mysteries is kind of a thing. Being really comfortable with the mysteries, but also having this be something that like is a launching pad. And again, you've got a lot of power here with the Death card and the Emperor. With the Six of Coins, Spirit's like you've earned it. And so there's a generosity that you have been offering the world, like a generosity of spirit, generosity of like who you are. And you're going to see a level of generosity sort of like swing back around. There's going to be equal give and take. And that's a really beautiful thing. The Hermit and the High Priestess, you're very spiritual. I mean, that's what I'm seeing of more than anything else. Who are you becoming? You're becoming a shaman, High Priestess. With the Hermit card here, let me just hold this up. Oh my God, I love how this is the King of Wands and the King of Wands. But with the High Priestess, I think you're creating something that's, even though the High Priestess is like silent, I am thinking there's like something with the scroll and what she's reading. There's like something about words that's pretty significant. But with the Hermit, there's not a need. You don't have to like exhaust yourself in any way. I'm seeing that there are people in your life that give to you and that are of value, definitely. But I also see that you have become someone, I don't want to say you're very comfortable in your own company. You're very happy doing the spiritual work and like being in that state. It's with the Hangman as well. Look at all these cards. Oh my gosh, wherever you are. You know, the Hangman as well. Like there's something so highlighted here about like your unique perspective. And it's a uniquely spiritual perspective that is very informed by giftedness. And it's very influential as well. With the King of Wands and the King of Wands, and you've got the Queen of Wands, there's a balance for you that's happening. And if there's a good counterpart here, it's like very inspired, passionate, like this is like the warrior king. You have a beautiful counterpart and counterbalance in terms of, let me just take a look at these two. You know what I love about this? There's a youthful quality that I can feel. There's a vibrance and a vitality. There's also a lot of attraction. That's like coming up really clear. There's a lot of attraction around you, with you. You have this like magnetic pull. With the Page of Coins and the King of Cups right underneath it, you are moving into like a place within yourself where you're very sovereign. And this is a path that is created for you by the divine. It's there for you. You're becoming someone who takes action, even in contrast to that Hermit card. So I want to take a look at the self, the animal, and the medallion. The bottom of the deck energy is the flame. And so there's something to be said here for you're unapologetically you. And it's working for you is what I'm seeing here. You know, the self, you've really been able to integrate, you've been able to find power, you've been able to find a place of like feeling at home within yourself. There's not a lot of anxiety that I'm seeing here, but there's a very, I don't want to say like, there's a part of you that is really down to basics. You know, you're very authentic, you're very able to see and, you know, and articulate and perceive and all sorts of things. But you are the pearl of great price. And this is sort of the only thing that kind of offsets, like, you know, how visibly valuable you are, and how valuable you are in the way of like what you portray. The only thing offsetting that is that you give no fucks. You know, you're really comfortable with like the light side of you and the dark side of you, which is like feels a little bit more feral. You know, it's adventurous, it's instinct driven, and so you're able to step into like what it is to be yourself and like, you know, publicly, socially. But there's also a sense in which you're not apologizing, you're not changing your nature, you're not accommodating people, you're being unapologetically you in every single way, and you're also very much guided by the part of you that is instinctive. But the medallion, not only are you a light and a beacon that calls people in, but you also have like a magical quality and an ability to work with the elements. You've earned something truly unique that's going to help you basically with everything that you put your mind to. It's like you're with all the spiritual cards here, especially with the High Priestess, like you are the keeper of a very important message, and you are the keeper of a very important secret. And again, I see somebody who's like embracing the mysteries, embracing the idea of mystery. And also you're very receptive. It's like a lot of giving towards you. You're receptive towards the environment. You're receptive towards spirit guides. There's spiritual work being done here, and you have a tremendous gift that you've earned that's sort of like come to, I want to say it's like ripe, because I'm seeing like a fruit. And I saw with the flower too, like a bloom. So there's like something about like getting to this point where everything opens up in such a way because you've earned it. You really have. And so with opposition here though, let me take I want to get some more cards on that. Let me just let's get some clarifiers. What is this opposition, Spirit? Tell me what this is. Wow, that's a lot. But we're going to look at them. Oh my gosh, we got the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the King of, wow, this is interesting. So this is about balancing your passions with the balance. Two of coins. This is the Two of Coins. This is about balancing your passions. The Queen of Swords here, this is related to like, well, what is the challenge in all this? The challenge in all this is because you're so psychic and like you're really driven by what lights you up and like what you're passionate about. Again, there's a communication thing. I can't stop saying that because I'm like seeing it constantly. But with the Queen of Rods and the Wands and the King of Wands, there's a real balance in you, and you're able to like take your inspiration and like drive it exactly where you want it to go. With the Queen of Swords, actually, that's the thing. You need the Queen of Swords to take the passions and drive them where you want to go. And so like the only challenge here is getting you organized, really, and getting you to a place where like the emotions aren't driving you everywhere. Like I'm seeing a kind of situation where you like get up and you're like, I can't do the creative thing because I don't feel like the right way, and like, you know, I don't have confidence. And Spirit is saying, you know, as the minute that you're able to like put yourself on a schedule, and that's just what's coming through, you're going to feel a lot of control over your like moods, first of all. And secondly, really getting a hold of how to move that passion exactly into the spot where you want it to be. You have everything you need to do that, but it's like a little bit in the way of like, you have to kind of practice and make it a thing. You have to be a little head over heart and like very practical and like wise. Your communication skills, again, they're amazing. But with this counterpart, you have this balance, but there's a way in which like the only challenge is getting that Queen of Swords energy into the mix so that you can kind of make things happen in a way that isn't too chaotic. So that is looking like where you're going. So I'm going to pull a couple extra cards here in terms of just advice from Spirit. So Spirit, what's some advice that you want to leave us with right now? This is a really quick reading. What is some advice that you want to leave us with right now? Let's see what we got. Yeah, this came through really clear and really quick. And I think that that's sort of what you can expect going forward. Like, I think that you're like seeing this like streamline from your intuition to your like passions and then like making it into something that like really has you shining here. I can't even get over how powerful you are, honestly. That's something that I'm seeing so clearly. You are an incredibly powerful person. And you're strong, and you're almost a little bit fearless, I'll be honest. Listen to the messages of your dreams. Again, like, your intuition is so beautiful that Spirit's like, you can really trust it. Not like I mostly trust it and there's like a little bit of doubt in order to, no, like Spirit is saying like you're at a point with your abilities where you can really, it's like a superpower, and it really lights your way, and it adds a level of ease and peace. There's a sense in which, like, you know, the weather around you, that's what I'm seeing with this Death card. Like, no matter what's going on around you, even if it's like a major storm, like there's still a sense in which you're going to be very led by the Spirit. All right, let's see what else. Spirit, what else is there that you want to leave us with? What else is it that you want to leave us with? King of Wands twice. You have the power of a locomotive, and you know it because you've really overcome. I think we're just going to like really drill down on, you know, listen to the still small voice within is really similar to listen to the message of your dreams. What you feel like your creative impulses are perfectly like in line with where you're supposed to be going. Your voice is very important, and listening to your intuition and listening to yourself and being very clear that you have everything you need in the way of, knowing. That's what I'm seeing. You have like this, you have everything you need in the way of inner knowing to guide you perfectly. And your voice is extremely important. You have the ability to prosper. So I really see you doing very well with your gifts, basically, more than anything else. And so I'm going to leave us with that. Listen to your inner compass. Spirit is saying over and over and over again, you know, what is coming in for you is so much knowledge, wisdom, intuition, established. There's a, you know, something really, really unique about who you are in the world. And that, listen to your inner compass. This is really speaking, this like really speaks to me of the animal. Spirit says, you know where you're going. It's inside. You already know where you're going. And I'm seeing that really clearly. You already know where you're going. And so Spirit is saying that is like beckoning you. And you can trust to follow it. You know, your ability to prosper is here. All right. So that is the reading today. It went kind of quick, but like everything just kind of sort of just, it came through very, you know, matter of fact. So I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that that is helpful, and I will see you again soon. I took a little bit of a break, but I'm going to be revving back up again. So I will see you this week. All right. Have a good night.